Yo, 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 this your boy Q Bar, and I'm the host of the Barcode Podcast 414. And I'm back with another community vibes with my homegirl, my mama, my second mama. I love her so much, MeMe Jackson. And today I'll be doing community vibes on Miracle Training Center down here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We are here with the lovely MeMe Jackson. You know, like I said in the intro earlier, this my mom. I never forget when I used to come over to the crib. I used to be terrified to come in. But as we got older, as I got older, I'm like, oh, mama really just nice.
Why was everybody terrified of me?
You so firm, mama.
I am, but I have to be firm, but I'm still mama. I want to be mama and not friend.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, I love it. But it's really a pleasure and a blessing being here. It's gonna be a perfect, story in my eyes because I always tell, Poopy, if y'all don't know who Poopy is, that's my best friend, Fred Burgess, that's her son. I always tell him how you, started everything and I felt like I was there for, just a tad bit of it because, we was in high school and everything. But let's kick into it. Like I said, y'all, this is MeMe Jackson. She's the CEO of Miracle Safe Haven Daycare and Miracles Training Center, here located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So the first thing I'm gonna ask you, mama, is about your upbringing. I know you from East St. Louis.
I am.
Yeah, East St. Louis. I never been.
Shout out to the Lou.
Yeah, shout out to the Lou. I never been, and I know it's a rough area, but how was it for you growing up there?
Okay, so growing up, when we were little, we had moms and pops in the house. Mom worked, dad had a business, and just growing up, it was diverse.
Okay.
We had other cultures on our block. Wow, yes, we did when I was growing up. Now, around 15, that's when it started getting a little rough. And at that time, my mom okay, we're trying to relocate. That's how we got to Milwaukee. But growing up, it was awesome. Middle school was awesome. High school, down there we had 6th through 9th grade. Then high school was 10th through 12th grade. So we moved up here when I was going to the 11th grade.
Okay.
Pregnant with Fred.
Yeah. You
yeah.
sure was, mama.
Yeah.
You sure. And you made that transition, right, from East St. Louis to Milwaukee, but then you grew up on, y'all moved to Galena right away?
Yes. Didn't know anything about Wisconsin, Milwaukee at all. Yeah. First of all, didn't know anything about it. My older sister moved out here. Okay. And then she was having problems. So my mom okay, we finna move. I'm my boo thing.
Yeah, my boo thing.
I love him. She look, pack up, we gotta go. So we moved up here to Milwaukee. So we had a choice to stay on 9th and Center or 33rd and Galena. So I told my mom, I said, 33rd and Galena had a corner store. Okay. So I'm let's move here. 9th and Center, it was a lot of people out on the block. Yeah. We went to go look at that house, and she may ask me what did I think, because I was already upset. Okay. I'm leaving East St. Louis. I love East St. Louis. I love my upbringing. I love my hometown, and I got to come away from that. So I chose 33rd and Galena.
You chose 33rd, and you have a big family too.
Yeah,
right.
I have 5 brothers and 4 sisters.
Yeah. What is that? Is that by mom and dad?
By mom and dad. Mom and dad. Yep.
Wow.
Mom and dad.
And y'all all packed up from East St. Louis and moved to Milwaukee?
Nope. So me and my brother, I have a younger brother, Terry. Okay. We left with mom. My sister was already here, and then everybody started coming eventually. My oldest sister never made it up here before she passed, but yeah, eventually everybody moved up here.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So, but overall, how was the transition though? Because I'm pretty sure we were different from East St. Louis. Like, did you feel like
Yes.
we were country when you first came?
No, everybody said I was country. I don't know where y'all get that from. Like, what? I am not country. I am not. But everybody said, like, you know, I'm country coming from East St. Louis. But I just thought it was different. It was very different. I've never stayed. We come from a home. I never stayed where people stayed on top of you.
Yeah, oh,
so we
yeah.
moved into a duplex, and I'm like, they stay up on
yeah.
top of us. And so that was different. It was more. East St. Louis is city. I know people think it's country. East St. Louis is not country. It was a city. It was a city. Stop it. It was a city. So I felt like the city part wasn't a transition. It was just, to me, it was the different gangs like Trey 4 and BOS and Vice Lord and Disciples. Where I'm from, we had Vice Lord, we had Disciples. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, all the different gangs, and we moved in the neighborhood. We didn't know anything about it, so it was different gangs. But it wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't horrible. You knew who to get along with, who not to get along with. We didn't really have that many issues with it. It was just, you know, when they get to calling us country. And then I went to Washington. No, I went to North Division first.
Ooh.
I played in the band.
Okay.
And then
what instrument you play?
Trumpet.
Okay, yeah, I played the trumpet in middle school.
Yeah, played the trumpet. Then had some issues there. Went to Washington. Got kicked out of Wash House. So yeah.
So what you trying to say, man? You was a trouble team?
I was not. I was an awesome team. It's just that when I moved up here, everybody tried to try me. So,
That's
you know.
true. That's true. They do that. Yeah.
Because I'm from a different state.
You from a different state.
So they was clicked up. I wasn't clicked up. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love this story.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Now I want to talk about you being a young mother. You having Fred at would you say 15, 16 years
16.
old? 16 years old. If you can remember around that time, like how did you look at life being like knowing like, oh my God, I'm pregnant at 16? Did you know like you had to grow up fast or like?
Well, first of all, let me see. 16. I was pregnant at 16. I'm 26 now. So no. I was afraid. I was very afraid. But I had a support system. That's why now in my classes that I teach, I'm very supportive of young mothers, very supportive. I feel like if you don't have a support system, it's very hard. I had my mom, I had my sister, his dad was there. So that support system was fine. That allowed me to continue to go on to school.
Yes.
Because my mom, she'll watch the baby while I go to school. And then his dad used to come up here because he still stayed in East St. Louis. So he used to come up here. And when he was up here, he'll help. My sister helped me. So if I didn't have a support system, it would have been hard. The only thing that I might have missed out on was, you know, being able to kick it with the friends and go to different parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when I got 18, it was on.
It was on.
I went to every party. We started having our own parties on 33rd. Absolutely. 33rd parties. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up the supporting cast because obviously I said earlier that you have a big family and you had a baby at such a young age. And sometimes, you know, families, you know, try to, you know, beat the, you know, the young man up or the young girl up, you know, as far as like having a baby at an early age.
Yeah.
So yeah, you had a good relationship. Yeah. Now I remember, I want to say I met Fred in my freshman year, and I believe you were working at Custer High School.
Yep. I was doing safety.
Safety.
Yep. I was safety. Yep.
You was doing safety, but I remember coming over there all the time. But you started with your daycare in your house in the basement.
I did.
So when did that vision start for you? Like, you know?
Okay, so I used to drive school buses.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and Fred and them was on my bus in middle school. So I didn't want to feel like I was making a difference. So everybody that came on the bus, I had them assigned seat. And everybody know middle school students, they like, what is she talking about? Name. And they like, you know my name, name. So they had to give me their name and I assigned everybody seats. And just then I had a route where it was younger kids and the little young kids that got on my bus after school, they was trying to do their homework and they didn't know how to do their homework. And I'm like, you know, maybe if I open up a daycare, then I can be able to help them. But at that time I was going through a lot.
Okay.
Trying to get it. I had a house, so I moved over to MPS and from the bus company because I went in, my niece was acting up at Custer. And I went up to the school because I've always been like that.
And you was firm, weren't you, mama? Uh-huh. Yeah. Go ahead, I'm listening. Yeah.
And I went up to the school, and Buford, his name was Buford.
Okay.
He was sitting at the front desk, and I was getting on my niece like, no, you going to finish school. There's no other choice. Why do you not want to finish school? And he heard me being stern with her. And he said, you know, I think you should apply to be safety. And I'm like, well, what is safety? And he was like, what I do, we make sure the kids go to class. We, you know, break up fights and ABC, XYZ. So I'm like, I'll try that. And that's how I got at MPS. Wow. So worked at MPS, and in the meantime, I'm still working for the kids, and they had me at an elementary school. Again, kids not really knowing nothing in K4, K5, so that made me decide on, you know, I think I want to open up my home daycare. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. I remember you wasn't playing no games. When we used to come over there and we went to go in the basement, oh yeah, we was upstairs quick with it. Y'all get out my basement.
Yep, get out. That's the daycare. That's the daycare.
Yeah. So around, like, did you just have that vision of being an entrepreneur around that time, or it was more so like, I don't know what I'm really getting into, but I just want to help kids?
I've always wanted to like be a nurse. I've always been like this leader, wanted to help kids and all that. Even when I was little, but I seen my mom. They had, you know, my dad had a business. My mom, they had a restaurant before I was born. So they had a restaurant growing up. So I always knew that I wanted to be my own boss. I knew that.
Okay.
But it was obstacles that I kept going through. First of all, I kept getting pregnant. I don't know why I kept getting pregnant, but yeah, obstacles I had to go through, but I was determined that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I just had to.
And for those who watching, I love all her kids, so you know I'm gonna give them a shout out at the end. That's the fam right there. Yeah. Now, when you started the daycare in your basement, was it tough for you to get funding? Was it hard for you being a black woman to get support from the government to get that contract to start from your home?
No support from the government. No support.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed. Well, how was it, Mama?
No
I'm sorry.
support. What I decided on doing, so I was working for MPS and I get taxes back. So I decided, and I've always been stern and able to save money. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I can save money. That's it. And when my taxes come, instead of buying a TV and buying clothes, I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna set up my daycare. So I already own the home, so I had to get an egress window because it was in my basement. Okay. So you have to have 2 exits. So I'm like, the egress window, I called, it was like, that's like $600. Okay, at that time, I think my taxes might have been like $3,000 or $4,000. So I got that egress window. I went to Goodwill, looked at some toys, made sure they wasn't broken or anything, and I was determined to start my daycare.
Yeah. So when did you have the vision? I know you started your daycare in your basement. When did you have the vision of like, oh, I want to go get a building now? Like, when did that pop in your head?
Okay, this is me uncut, being real.
Okay.
After the first year of having daycare kids in my home, I had to fix 3 cabinets, the stairs, and so and the refrigerator. They broke the refrigerator too. So I knew within the 6 months that I was gonna save up the next taxes to get me a building, and that's what I did. I was only in my home for 1 year. After that, I went and got a building.
Yeah, you decided to get a building.
Yep.
So I know the basement was pretty like set up nice. Now, they would how they get access to that, because of like lunchtime and
because you have to bring them upstairs for lunch. Our basement had the toy area, the sleeping area, but when it was time for them to eat, we went upstairs to the kitchen, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And overall, pros and cons, right? Just being, in this business, right? This industry, being the owner of a daycare and the owner of a training center. What would you say some of the pros and cons are?
The pros are you get to meet different people. It's a lucrative business if you make it lucrative. You have to do a lot of marketing. If you got good marketing skills, then it's fine. The cons are you get parents that sometimes go to work and sometimes they don't go to work. The days that they don't go to work, they don't come pick their kids up on time. They want to pick their kids up when they want to pick their kids up. Then you get the parents that want you to do above and beyond. School agers come to us after school. We'll help them with their work, but we won't help them with all their work because it's homework for the parent to help them with.
Yes.
So let's say they had an assignment with 10 questions. We'll help them with 5. We'll have them do it 5 at home. We have parents like, why didn't you help them with the whole packet?
Yeah.
So other than that, we develop some friendships and sometimes we develop frenemies.
Wow. And you're not the first person to tell me that, right? When it comes to the daycare part,
Yeah.
right? You know, because a lot of the daycares have programs where they are helping, you know, these kids with homework and whatever the case may be. And I know that's like one of the biggest that I've heard, like the cons of, you know, is the parents. So yeah. Now, as far as signing up the kids, right? How do, with you being in buildings, how do people get in contact with you? Do they got to go through the state? Do they call your office, or how?
They can look our name up on Youngstar website or they call the daycare center. And then we also have on Facebook, we have a Facebook page too.
Okay. And for those who may not know, you know, about your daycare and your training center, can you just explain some of the activities that you do at both locations?
Okay. So I'm blessed to have an awesome daycare team. Shout out Miss Shy, whoop whoop, Miss Shari. We got Key over there. We got Miss Brown. Miss Shy pretty much handles the day-to-day operations over there. She's trained well, so she does that part over there. We have kids from 6 weeks all the way up to 13 years of age. The daycare, pretty much, they have it over there, so I don't have to go check on them. Now this is my baby. I do child care training, I do CDL training, and I'm getting ready to start CDLB, Class B training, and I'm getting ready to start doing some flagging classes. So this is my baby here. So here I train child care. Every 3 weeks I have a child care class. Every 2 months I have a CDL class, and the flagging class, I'm getting ready to start that in August.
Wow. Did you see the CDL lit my eyes up? Because I've been thinking like, I need to get my
Class
CDL.
B. Yes.
Now, how do they go about signing that up? You have a flyer?
I usually have a flyer. I go to a lot of job fairs. Today I went to 2 different job fairs. So I usually go to a lot of job fairs, put my information out there, and you know, if they are interested, then they give me a call.
Okay, got you. Now, Ma, I do want to ask you this, right? Because obviously I'm the host of the Barcode Podcast, 414. And my name is Quentin Barfield, but people call me Q Bar. And it's called, my podcast is the Barcode Podcast. So I know these names we come up with are very unique. So I want to know, how did you come up with the name Miracle Safe Haven?
First off, I want to give a shout out to you. I am so proud of you. The Barcode, whoop whoop,
Thank you, Mama.
Barcode 414. Okay, so the name Miracle. Miracle was my 2-year-old daughter that passed away. So Miracle is my brand name. Anything and everything I do would have her name after. Miracle's Training Center, we got Miracle's Jackson Property, we got Miracle Safe Haven. That is my baby. Her name will be in the front of everything. God took her because he called her home. It was time for her to go, but I'm gonna make sure her name live on through every and anything that I do.
Okay, and I appreciate, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mama, and I appreciate you sharing that, because I know that can be tough for anyone. So I really, really do appreciate you. And the final question that I have for you too, Mom, is, you have the daycare, you have the training center where it's different programs and avenues, and you have your properties. Where do you see yourself in 5 years as far as your business?
I see me adding on more.
Okay.
More
Daycares,
trainers.
properties?
Not daycares, properties, definitely. More training centers.
Okay.
So many African American male need training. So I want to find a training that they can get into for them. Right now, I got the ladies here, and I also have the CDL class, but I want to do more when it comes to the male.
Okay.
I want to develop a training other than the usual what someone doing to work in a industry. I want to develop something where they can have their own ownership.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that's where I
Yes.
see myself going. Yeah.
Okay. I like that, Mama. That was a great closing,
Yeah.
question, and how you responded. So everyone, that watching this episode, I appreciate y'all all for tuning in. Please stay, after and continue after watching this show, because we will be doing a tour of the training center, and we will be doing a tour of the daycare center. And I know you want to give a shout out, give a shout out to your peoples.
First off, shout out to God. He made all this possible. It might look easy, but it wasn't easy. So that's my thank you, God, for everything. Then I got to give a shout out to my babies. I love my babies. Fred, Miss Shia. Let me stop calling her Miss Shia. We got William. We got Diallo. We got Michael and Mashari. Thank you for being the best kids, and thank you for putting up with your mom when I know it was times that you wanted to say something. I'm glad you didn't say something, but thank you for putting up with your mom. Shout out to my grandbabies, and shout out to everybody that have love for me, because I definitely have love for you. And again, thank you, Q, for this interview. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. And I know you just gave a shout out, but I know you lost your mom. Is there any kind words you want to say to your mom?
I love you, Mom. Without you, I wouldn't even be here. The drive that I have, the success that I have, the parenting skills that I have, all that I learned from you. It was hard when you left, but God had other things for you. I know you're looking down at me, and I'm going to make sure I make you proud. I love you so much, Mom. Love you.
Yo, this your boy Q Bar. I am at the Daycare Park, Miracle Safe Haven Development Part 2.
Welcome to Miracle Safe Haven Development Center 2. We are licensed to hold 43 children a day. Our hours are 6:30 a.m. to 11:59 p.m., Monday through Friday. All guests have to be buzzed in using our security system. And we have nanny cams in each classroom. That I'll touch base on in a moment. This first classroom we have is the green room, which consists of our school agers ranging from the ages of 5 and up. We have weekly field trips during the summer, Fun Friday each and every week, and offer homework help during the winter. Back to our cameras. We have 14 different camera angles, which means we can see everything that's happening from their screen. This room we're stepping into here is our infant classroom. We have the children 6 weeks to 2 years old in this classroom. They spend most of the time on the mat to crawl and roll, but they also enjoy listening to music and having tummy time. As we get ready to cross over, we're entering into our red room. This is for our toddlers aged 2 years to 4 years old. As you can see from our decorations, we are all about learning and engaging with the children. We offer the preschool curriculum and make sure that children know the basics before they start school, such as spelling their name and learning their colors. We also have our outside area, which gives the children the opportunity to engage in large motor skills and group activities, such as basketball, riding bikes, and climbing the jungle gym. We also have the deck, the racetrack, picnic tables to eat or relax when they feel like it.